Brawler's taunts should now work properly and put you back on top of the threat list. And actually copy threat now. This should be working fine now. Brawler's damage has been significantly increased, but they're still way far behind the other DPS classes. I think the main problem, at least for me, is like building metal is kind of feels slow, and most of the skills and animations of Brawler take a long time to execute. They look really cool and all that stuff, but it just takes so long to use. So Brawler really still needs more work. I think maybe giving the metal builders the ability to build 2 metal every time instead of just 1 would help a lot. And since you're using your builders so much, they should do more damage. Maybe try to like decrease the animations on some of these skills. Some Brawler armor had required Bjorning on them. That has been fixed. You no longer have to be a Bjorning to use Brawler armor. The toggle skills aggressive posture as well as defensive posture in blue line should now stay toggled even though you get stunned. Before the patch, if you got stunned, the toggle skills would fall off. This is no longer the case. They also fixed a particle effect that would stay with you out of combat. I'm assuming they mean like spikes on the side here, although I'm not sure. But apparently they stayed out of combat. See right now, they're gone. I'm not sure exactly if that's what it was, but in any case, the particle effect is now gone when you're out of combat. Champions had a fix to the Rend skill. It'll now tier up correctly on tier 4 and tier 5. Rend also has a initial hit when you apply the bleed. And one thing that was not in the patch notes, every time you apply a Deep Strike's bleed to your target, you can see that there's now initial damage on every Deep Strike bleed. This means quite a big increase for champs in DPS. Nice little buff to increase their DPS, because during a normal fight you're gonna apply a lot of Deep Strike bleeds. It used to be pretty bad, because you would always refresh the bleed of Deep Strikes and never really get any ticks. Now you get a initial hit every time you would apply a bleed. So it's quite a big increase for champs in DPS. There's also been some changes to how you acquire gold traceries. Before, you were able to run Surma, for example, was really popular, running at 122 and 121. Now it has to be 130 or higher. Basically, on level cap, you have to do it on 130 or higher. And when Gundabad gets out, from what I'm reading, you have to do 140 or higher to get Gundabad traceries. This only counts for instances like Surma, Ivar, Remerchant. Any instance you do, you will have to do like on level or higher. You are now able to disenchant Starlit Crystals. There's just one big problem. The enhancement runes that you acquire from this are level 86. I think this is because the game thinks like, okay, you were able to get Starlits at 86 or that level cap. Because Amphalas has been a thing forever, but level cap has kept going up. This seems like they just didn't account for the level increases that we've had. But as of right now, you get level 86 enhancement runes, which are totally useless for level capped characters. So I'm expecting a fix for this, and them raising the level cap at least to 130. Maybe even for Gundabad would be nice. Reforging legendary items now will put a minimum level and increase it depending on your level. This Runekeeper stone that I just bought, reforged, now has a minimum level of 130. This will help with scaling in the Moors and scaling in epic battles. You'll also notice that my current item has a minimum level of 45. But this will change when you get the expansion. You level up and you reforge at 135 and 140. Your items should also get their minimum level increased. There was a bug going around where you slotted bound to account essences. It would bind the gear to your tune. This should no longer happen, but I believe people who already did this and bound their items to character, that has not been fixed. I don't know if they're gonna fix that, or you might have to send in tickets to get help with that. But for any other gear, it should no longer be a problem and bind your armor to your character. For a long time, Warg pens has been a really popular instance to run to power level your tunes. A lot of people will just pop their tomes and run for about an hour with the help of some friends. And you're usually able to get 10 levels within that time if you have all the tomes running. With this update, Warg Pen's XP has basically been, from what I've seen in like Discords and forums and stuff, it's been, the XP gain has been about halved. So it's not gonna be as efficient to run Warg Pens. Just a shame we don't have any other instances to run for this purpose. And the final note is talking about how they made some changes to the servers to help reduce lag. It seems to me like this is the change that they did to Arkenstone and the other server at first. And that's now in every server, and hopefully it'll help reduce lag a little bit. That's the end of this video. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.